Welcome to Konin in Poland and welcome to Nimby Rails, and this is where the progress in the last episode stopped on building new tracks. And you can already see Konin to the left, Konin to the right has tracks and connections, and everything is already built. And the further I zoom out, the more you can see that the entire tracks from Poznan to Kutno is done. I also started work on the routes, or not on the routes, on the route between Kutno, Prok and Sirk. Prok, for example, already has all the depot yards. Small, cute little station, 3 platforms. Average, I would say, for a town that size. Even has a second station down here. So that's only double track and a small yard. And then most of it is single track up to the north. The tracks are missing at 80 kilometers an hour, down to the south, I believe 100 or 120. Let's check it out. Here I also built with 80, but I believe that has to be wrong. On the other hand, I built with 100. Yeah, 100 kilometers is probably the accurate speed. So for the lines we have created, it is time to also create the routing. Very, very simple. I will take the regional line. I will clone it once again. I have that preset done. Then we will switch it to intercity, because we don't want to create another regional train. We want to create another intercity, not express like this one sitting at Poznan, but a normal intercity. So I will of course put Poznan in the second spot. In the first spot we then will have, I just asked myself, is it intelligent to have it turn around at Zachodnia? I mean, we'll run these tracks. It will go down there through here, which means that it will arrive. Let me just build this. It's the outer track. It could use the outer track in theory. It could arrive in here. And then switch all the way up. So in theory I can use the upper 2 tracks. Let's just move the other intercity out of the way. Yes, one is inbound, one is outbound. So we can use the upper 2 tracks here. And then we can use this uppermost track. And then when we come into the switches here, we go up here, we go up here. So 13 is the one we could in theory go up to. I would say then that we take it onto platform number 12. And of course, before we take it onto platform number 12, and we add the Poland tag, let's take the platform station name. And then we will start on platform number 12, because it's only approached from the other direction so far. So with this line it will look a bit more interesting. And then I want it to run through here, so it already puts in the right route. So you can see it here arrives at Włochy down there, takes the switches, goes to the upper track, and then here just use the normal tracks. Now I would like to ask myself if I can push it to the upper ones, but I think that is not necessary. So we will just have it run through everything here. That is a skip. All of these stations, by the way, are a skip. So we will go in here. I'll just go into the basic mode and put in these 2 platforms here at Lovich Klony. And then what I can do off camera, of course, to check all these stations. So when I zoom in here, for example, you see it works. When I zoom in here, you see it works, that I always take the middle tracks. Even though the outer tracks are mostly slower, sometimes it happens, especially inside curves, that the intercity or the route creation doesn't take the normal track in the inside, but it takes the tracks on the outside when it's shorter and the game thinks it's faster. So I have to check all these stations. Small tip for when you create lines yourself, that you do double check them when there are more than 2 tracks that they are supposed to run on. For example, here Jarkowice has 3 tracks, and I would make sure that they are running, or that the IC is running on the 2 faster tracks and not somehow pushes itself out to the slower tracks. So next up is then Kutno. Now I believe that I can throw the train in wherever I want to. So I will take platform number 3, I will take platform number 4 at Kutno. And then we can move on. I believe Kolo is too small, only 20k, that's not enough. Konin, 34k. It isn't really big enough, but I take it. I just take it. And then we continue on. One of the places I love is this place here. You can see we have the curve going around the northern end of the city. When I activate the existing railway mod, you see the station is down here and the intercity won't turn down there. So that's a needed upgrade for the regional line, but yeah, it is not included in what I'm currently building. It's not included in the IC line, so I haven't created it yet. And then I want it to operate into Poznan. I don't want to push it through the southern areas to Stavaleka, Debina, and then up into Poznan. I want to take the northern route. I believe it's faster. That's just an uneducated guess, by the way. I hope it's faster. Let's create the tracks here. I mean, I could also just... Why am I like that? I could also just build the entire thing. There's absolutely zero need to be... to think about what I want to and what I don't want to build. Until here I've created everything. Down there are a few tracks missing, down there are a few tracks missing. But that is not important. Do we want to stop there? That's the question. I think I will keep that as an idea, as a possibility. And then I want to force the train to use this route up here. Then here we have 40k people. But it will be served by regional trains anyway, wouldn't it? So we arrive in here. So it would be platform 4, platform 5. And then we move on, we go in here. And then I can basically choose. And if I take this platform, or let me take... No, I want to take this platform. No clue why, but I wanted to. And then here I already see one of the issues. It goes single track because I haven't set any markers in here, and the lower track is way faster than the upper track for the routing of the train at least. And then move it up and down like a roller coaster. And then we have a good setup. I've set up switches up here, and then it goes into a single track a bit early for my liking. We don't have switches back there. But what I want to do is put an advanced stop mode in. Now, where was the switch? There's the switch I wanted to use. So we put it in there. That it uses this switch further back instead of the one right at the front. And then signals. There's the other signal. And now I just want to see. We have 300 meters at Poznan itself. So let me just go to stations. Then we have the platforms at Wyszot at 300. Konin and Kutno. So let's go to Konin, 400. So still 300 meters the longest platform we have. Kutno, the shortest one, sorry. That's nearly 500. Still 300 meters to train, I believe it is. Then we have Lovich Glony. It's also 400 meters, so yeah, we can set up a 300 meter train. Now the question is, like always, I want to go into Polish trains, so scroll all the way down. That's a double traction that's too long. So if I put this in a single traction, we have 600, 350, 380, 384 into a single train. Do I have a single train in here? No, I don't. I just move this so it looks more beautiful. Then we also have the 44s, so the Hussars. They are 160 is the top speed of the line anyway. That's something I can go in here, make the cruise speed 160. And then we want to take out 4400. And we come back with roughly 5 hours. Could I push it to make it custom? Could I push it to 5 hours? I could. So, put in proper wait times. I say proper, I don't put in the proper. If they take longer at any of the stations, they will run a little bit delayed and then pick it up later, or at least drop off the delay later. Then here again 27 seconds, 21 seconds. If there are more passengers, they will of course stay longer on the platform. And then when they arrive late at Warszawa or Poznan, they will have enough time to make sure that they can actually get rid of the wait time, of the delay time. So the question now is, it won't do 18 minutes, wouldn't it, right? No, it needs half an hour to Lovich, so we are at 4 hours something. Now let me do this, 5 hours. And manually pick stop. Custom wait duration on the last stop. Then we have 2 seconds that I need to add to make this 45 minutes. Then we make it 6 minutes already, make it 60 minutes. Waiting for the autosave to go by. And then we go into Warszawa itself. Go to Zachodnia, go to the timetable. Platform number 12 has a regional train Warszawa-Zachodnia to Jaldowo, which says 5 minutes something on the platform. So we have a lot of time to play around. So 60 minutes is nothing big. And then I would like to go in here, give it a minute more, go in here, give it a minute more, go in here, give it a minute more. I mean, the train is already absolutely not fast enough to compete with the Intercity Express on the high-speed line. And adding a few minutes to the stop time spreads out the waiting. So instead of 30 minutes that I now need to somehow get around, I can do it like this. Make it 15 minutes, then split the last 5 minutes, make 20 minutes, then 21 minutes inside of Zachodnia. And that's the line done. So we have a 5 hour custom duration. We need 5 trains. So I can clone this train, make it go mothballed. Yes, purchase is 5 time. I try to think, but so when I do this, we have 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we also have 10. Then I need to change the serial to 4410. Oh, I'm doing so good at this. 44, another 44. So that's the trains, 44. They are only 240, so maybe I could... I mean, do we? Actually, it's 1.4k people, so those trains should be big enough. Even though they are only 240, they should be big enough. And the scheduling for the line is done. I have the depot tabs open. I had to rework a few depots. Okay, only 2. Because I decided to run, or I let the trains sleep and run from Warszawa and Poznan only, so that very early in the morning you only have regional trains. Sometimes I want to be mean to the people. Then we take the blue color, we put it in, then this entire line looks blue. And that's progress. That's progress compared to earlier today. And you already see they are already attempting to dispatch all 5 of them. Now let's see if one of them actually makes it. There will be a long wait, I believe, because most parts of the track are not properly signaled. So they're trying to spawn somewhere and they can't because the signals are a little bit missing. So when we already talk about missing signals, we of course could help them just a little bit by, for example, putting in a balise there, putting in a path signal there, then doing the same for the approach, putting a signal there, putting a balise signal there. And that way, at least the inner parts of the station are already blocked and the trains could, in theory, spawn in. Then, of course, put a signal there to set up the inside. Put a signal there. Put a signal there. Now let's check out the trains again. None of them have spawned yet. Maybe, just maybe, because I can also set the line to passenger service. Okay, it's not all about the signaling, mostly, but not all. That station is signaled. You can see that. That is signaled. That is signaled. There's just a stop somewhere in nowhere. Yeah. Then that doesn't need scheduling and scheduling. Yeah, that doesn't need any signals. There will be a big station, not a big station, a small station on the on the lower part, but the IC doesn't care, doesn't need it. And that needs no signals. Maybe I could set up signals here. So let me activate the existing railway mod overlay, and then we set up a signal here. Now we then set up a signal there, we set up a signal there, and we set up a signal there. That way this junction is already signaled before the junction actually exists. And then we do the same on the other side as well. So for this, simple same design like before. It goes in, then goes over. Then more signals, more signals. That's something for later down the line. These are all normal stations, I know that. And there, ooh, we have one of our intercities. So of course the old Hussars design. Let me just slow down the game. Let me disable this, let me disable that. And then we go here. That is our train for the intercity job. Big enough to take all the passengers on. And it looks old, it looks fantastic. I love the way the cars look. And they will now run forever and ever between Poznan and Warszawa. First has 9 passengers, let's check out this one, 11. 1. And the other 2 haven't spawned in yet. So I would call that a success. And now it's time to fill out the inner workings between Poznan, Lodz and Kutno. So this triangle, everything on the inside should be done soon. And then I can work on the triangle Poznan, Ilawa, Warszawa to extend our network a little bit further on. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Today was a bit more focused on scheduling the intercity, but see you in the next one where we build again. Bye bye and have a beautiful weekend.